Let me catch my breath. Hello, people. Welcome back to the show. We're on episode... holy shit. Episode 36. We're on episode 36 now. Wow, I'm starting to lose count, guys. That's crazy. We're getting up there. So, yes, episode 36 is here. It is here. Now, before I start the show, I want to talk to you guys about something just to get like a little feel of what's going on. If I sound tired, that's because it's been storming all weekend in Jacksonville, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I tried to upload. Every time I try to like do an early upload, something wrong happens. But so basically, I tried to upload this episode, which is not this episode, is lost forever. Anyway, tried to upload this episode that it was supposed to be originally early this morning. Today is Sunday, by the way. So that should already tell you how discombobulated I am, because I'm recording on a Sunday instead of posting. But I had a recording already done, y'all. Hear me out. I had a recording already done since Friday night. And like I said, I was going to upload that this morning. So I had it all set up. It was loading and stuff like that. Storm knocked it out, stopped it. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll wait a couple hours, try it again. So I waited a couple hours, started again. It was uploaded and got to like 78. And then the storm took it away again. And I was like, okay, we're just going to wait. So I wait like a lot more hours. Y'all, I come back, the file is gone. Like, there's no file to be attached to upload anymore. I don't know what happened. Yes, I almost cried. Yes, I got frustrated. I was like, you know what? Fuck this podcast. I'm not doing it anymore. But that was very brief. It was an in the moment thought. I was frustrated because I don't know what happened to my shit. Which is crazy because that was a fairly long episode. It was about 50 minutes. Not that I'm trying to like tease y'all or something, but you know, I'm just saying that's why I don't do long episodes. But it's okay because I have a book of conversations and topics that I like to talk about. So I have content to give. Like this episode isn't going to be boring just because it wasn't the original episode. It's fine. Am I hurt? A little bit, but we move on. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, y'all, I want to talk to you guys about the video episodes because they're coming up soon, bitch. This is episode 36. I said the first one drops on episode 50. Like, that's right around the corner. So, and I know y'all are tired of hearing. I know for a fact y'all are tired of hearing about the video episodes, but I'm going to be honest with you. You're probably going to hear about them until the day the first one drops. Like, I'm never going to stop talking about it. So, I was thinking about the actual shot of the podcast. And most of the time when I like fall into like this deep daydream, or like I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do the video episodes in general, I like freak out over like the office space because I don't want to do it in my bedroom. So I have to like rent out a studio office space or something like that. I freak out about that all the time because I'm like, I'm in fucking Florida. Where am I going to find that at? That's like the one thing Florida doesn't have is like office spaces to rent out. Like, this isn't the fucking city. It's not Atlanta or anything like that. And then I think about like the decorations, like how I'm going to add it to be like pink and yellow and white and soft, but also add like anime and like, you know, nerdy shit. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. But lately I've been thinking, so that's what I usually, you can tell it's hella early in the morning, but that's what I usually think about when I obsess over this podcast, right? But lately, like I said, I've been thinking about this shot. And how do y'all feel about like, not the train going off? That's crazy. That's how you know it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So I wanted to know, like, how would y'all feel about like an above shot view with me like laying down doing the podcast? And I don't mean like staring at the top of my head, like not like all the way up like a bird's eye view, not like that. But like, and when I say above shot, I mean like at a oh my god, at like a diagonal, like down shot. You know what I mean? Like, it's up high, but like you can still see my face. It's just like a high up view. Because want my face to be kind of hidden. Like, I don't want my face to be dead center in the middle of the camera. That's, first of all, let's talk about that. You know, I know y'all are like kissing y'all teeth like, Zari, just sit down and record the fucking episode. But like, listen to me. You clicked on this podcast knowing the name of this podcast, okay? Okay, I'm doing my best, y'all. Every episode I go into great detail about how I'm like marinated in insecurities. You know? And just because this podcast is taking, and don't get me wrong, an upward spiral into the a great, area, that does not mean, y'all, that I'm going to magically turn from literally having a picture taking phobia to news on the hour with Z on CNN. Like, I just can't turn into that bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. So I really would prefer to not be like dead smack in the middle of a camera, like with my face just like front and center. We're just not, I'll have a panic attack as soon as I hit fucking record. I'm not going to be able to do that for y'all. But however, I even think, let me paint the picture for y'all though, because y'all, I feel like the way I'm describing it sounds lame as hell. Let me paint the picture. So imagine me like on a bed that's like color. This bird is singing the song of his people. Talk your shit. So imagine this, right? I'm laying down on the bed and it's like pastel, yellow, pink, because those are the colors of the podcast. And, maybe there's like some string lights on the wall. There's my like pride flag. We've got like a 6 foot mannequin of Midoriya and Gaara. We've got like a big ass banner of like Naruto's wedding hanging in the back. There's like figurines of like Light Yagami on my desk and shit. And what's that nigga's name from Demon Slayer? It's not Todoroki. I know it's not Todoroki. Wow, it's not Todoroki. I know that's the dude from My Hero Academia. I just can't think of the main character of Demon Slayer. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. But just imagine all my like anime decorations, and there's like, it's like dimly lit, right? So the string lights can like take center attention, or pause the string lights. What if there's like a pink light? Does anybody do that on their podcast right now? Is there a podcast where they have like pink, red lights and stuff? I hope not. And like, what if there's like a mini fog fan in the corner and it's just like giving off this like misty, like foresty, because there's going to be plants everywhere, y'all. So what if it's like blowing like fog, and it's not me trying to give myself bronchitis, trying to please y'all, but I feel like that would be such a cool podcast to watch, right? Like a girl just kind of chilling, laying down, and there's like plants and fog, but then there's color and anime and shit. It's like real attention grabbing. I feel like that'll be fire, y'all. If you listening to this right now, rolling your eyes, if you're like an interior decorator, bitch, hit me up, y'all. This is what I've learned from the group of supporters that I've gained from starting this podcast. Y'all are not scared to tell me anything. Like, there was a couple days ago, a girl in my DM on Instagram. It's always on Instagram too. Like, y'all never comment on YouTube or nothing. I'm just kidding. But she was basically like, girl, you be saying like 2 words. Like, what'd she say? You be saying the same word twice, or like, I'll be trying to say something, but I'll end up saying the wrong word for it. Like, girl, you try talking for 2 hours and then, yeah, I'm sorry. I be stuttering. I stutter every episode. It's a sickness. I'm injured. But anyway, does that not sound like the coolest like podcast office ever, right? I don't know why, y'all. The fog machine is really like doing it for me in my head. And like the plants mixed with the fog machines, mixed with the lights, mixed with like the anime decorations and stuff, y'all. And then like, this is pushing it. This is probably not going to be a part of it. But then there's like a little dog or cat just like sleeping on the floor. Like, what? Tell me y'all wouldn't watch that. Tell me y'all wouldn't watch that every night before you go to bed. That sounds like the perfect thing to put you to bed, or the perfect thing to wake you up with. Like, come on now. Now, obviously, my voice is still going to be the same. Like, I'm not going to turn into like this ASMR, like, welcome back to the show. This is the chemically imbalanced. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be talking just like this. So the atmosphere and the look of the podcast is going to be very calm, very, very serene, very soft, but then I'm just gonna come in with this big ass voice like, oh my God, guess what happened to me today? So let me know what y'all feel about that, or even, like I said, some suggestions that you like. When you hear this podcast, what do you envision me like around? Do you envision me sitting down? I hope you don't envision my ass right up in this camera, because that's not gonna happen. You could just let that dream fly out the window, because I'm not doing it. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' like fantasies. That sounds freaky as hell, which I also don't mind. But like, I just need to know, because I don't want to set it up all by myself and like buy all these decorations and then put it together and y'all are like, gross, that's disgusting, you could have kept all of that. So just let me know what y'all think about that. And if y'all are fucking with it, we'll move on. And if not, I'll just get myself. Okay, y'all, so before I get into the show, I just want to talk about something that happened to me for the first time. I hate when I say that. I don't know why I always say something that happened to me. I always sound like a victim, and I hate that. I have to change the way I speak so much. But I want to talk to you guys about something I did. There you go. That's how you say that. Sorry. I want to talk to you guys about something I did for the first time over this weekend. So, not to brag or anything, but I had my first Tradarius Joe's trip, y'all, and I feel like my life is forever changed. No, because it was literally amazing, and I wasn't expecting it to be amazing, because I've said it on here before, I'll say it multiple times, that I am an avid believer that TJ Maxx is better than Target. Cheaper, it's better. You can find the exact same shit in there. The only thing is Target is more expensive, and TJ Maxx doesn't have a Starbucks, which they should fix, because I feel like that is really taking the coin. And so I'm from Virginia Beach, right? I've said that multiple times. And even though we have a Trader Joe's in Virginia Beach, I never went to it, because we had this thing called Wegmans. Now, I don't know if Wegmans is like all over the world. I don't know where you at, where you say you was at, bitch, in Jersey, Chicago, Atlanta, where y'all from? I don't know if Wegmans is like I don't know if everybody got one. I know there's a word for that, but what is the word? I don't know if it's like what's the word? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this today. It's 3:00 in the morning. But right, like I said, I don't know if everybody has one. So I just went to that one in, Virginia Beach, and it's very similar to Trader Joe's since now I've been. It's just this big ass store. It's got everything you could ever want in it. Like, it's phenomenal. Now, the only thing I think that differentiates Wegmans, I think I might be wrong, Wegmans from Trader Joe's, is that I think Wegmans sells like clothes and like a bunch of other shit along with like groceries, and Tradarius only sells groceries, if I'm right. Now, y'all Tradarius's where y'all from might got clothes and auto parts and shit like that, but my Tradarius out here in Florida, he don't got none of that. He only got food and stuff. And let me tell you something about the food. I walked in there, y'all, less than 15 minutes. I was transferring savings to my check-ins. I was like, we finna shop. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I haven't like grocery shop. Now, if you got a family, then obviously that's, obviously you got to do that for your family. But if you're like a single person living by yourself, man or woman, I haven't like filled up a cart in a minute, boy. Like, I just don't be shopping like that, especially now that I'm staying with my parents until I decide whatever the fuck I'm gonna do with my career. But even when I had my own apartment, I just never grocery shop, because I'm gonna either eat out or I'm gonna buy the one thing that I want to cook, and that's it. Man, I was in Tradarius, oh my goodness, I was like, I need all of this. Like, I've never, it was shit that I'd never even seen before. Like, they had like this bag of like white chocolate dipped strawberries. I was like, oh my goodness. It's like somebody asked me what I wanted to see, and I saw it. Girl, they had shrimp and lobster stuffed mushrooms. I bought those, had to, ate them, put them in the oven as soon as I walked in the house. Bitch, they had like, what was that? They had Mexican street corn pizza, which I didn't even know you could do for real. I didn't get that because I don't like loose corn. I only like corn if it's on the cob, or, like actual like street corn, like that you can eat with a spoon. But other than that, I'm not fucking with corn on pizza. It sounded good and it looked good, but I was like, I'm gonna pass. They had like a pomegranate and peach milkshake. I was like, oh my God, fruits that I had never even seen before. I was like, what is happening in the store? I don't think I'm gonna go back, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna go back, because the way I was about to spend my entire paycheck in Trader Joe's, I was like, wow, I can see why there's like whole like TikTok algorithms dedicated to, because you can get everything in there. You could literally spend your whole life in there, and I'm just so ashamed that I've never been before. Now, the only one I have to go to is Costco. Now, I don't know. I have like personal beef with Costco, right? Because y'all remember back in like, what was it? 2000. I'm going to say, the only reason I'm going to say 2014, 2015 is because I graduated high school in 2016 and I know nobody gave a fuck about them then. So I'm going to say 2014. So back in 2014, on Instagram, this trend of like these 11 fucking foot tall teddy bears were like ripping and running through the internet, right? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, everybody wanted these fucking teddy bears. And every time it was Valentine's Day, if your nigga got you one of these fucking skyscraper ass teddy bears, you were like cream of the crop. Like, you were like, oh my God, look what Taekwon bought Tyshawn. Like, it was amazing, right? And I really wanted one. Had no type of nigga ever, or a woman, like nobody to give me this bear except my fucking self, because I'm a strong, independent black woman. And I was like, and I'm gonna go to Costco and I'm gonna buy it myself. First of all, these bears, if I'm remembering correctly, these bears were like upward of $80 or $100. So I don't know how niggas in high school was buying it for their girlfriends, but they just were. But I was like, I'm gonna buy myself one, because not only do I want one, but I deserve one, y'all. And I couldn't get it. Obviously, my mom had to get it because it was like $100 something. And I was like, I don't have that type of cash. So my mom was going to Costco for something. And I was like, oh my God, you're going to Costco. Could you get me one of these bears, please? So she was like, yeah, send me a picture of the bear. I sent her the picture of the bear. She was like, she called me. She was like, damn, got him. I was like, what you mean, damn, got him? She sent me a picture of the box that the bears are like sitting in when you walk in. The whole shit empty. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, that's fine. I'm not irritated or nothing like that. It's fine. So she comes back home. A couple weeks later, she has to go to Costco. Again, my mom is like a one of them buy in bulk type of people. She got a Sam's Club membership and everything. Like, she just has to buy big shit all the time. But she says like, okay, I'm going back to Costco. I was like, please, can you look for those bears if they have them? She was like, yes, I already know. I was already going to do that. I was like, that's my nigga. Thank you. She didn't even call me this time. She just sent me a picture of the same box, empty. Now, my mom is a little, so I had to read the stuff at the bottom to make sure she didn't send me the same picture twice. Because I was like, we gonna get one of them fucking bears. You better not be lying to me. So it wasn't the same picture because, the stuff was different. The prices and all that stuff next to it. And I was like, okay, fine. So clearly Costco just don't want me to have a bear. But check this out. I go to Costco. This is like months later now. I still want a bear, but it's not like top priority. Y'all know how y'all were as teenagers. Like, you want something like at that moment, like right then, but then a few months later, it's just like, I mean, if you want to give it to me, I'll take it, but I don't really give a fuck no more. Like, that's how everything was in my teenage life. So I go back to Costco with my friends like a couple months later. I'm gonna say like 2-3 months later, and bears everywhere. Guess who ain't had no money? Me. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was that happened at the perfect time, because even though I was mad that they were there and I didn't have enough money to buy them, I wasn't like defeated. I wasn't like, oh my God, this is my one shot and I can't do it. Like, somebody send me some money so I can get it. I promise you I didn't give a fuck. I was like, oh, well, if there was any opportunity, it's now, and I'm not going to take it. So I just don't care anymore. But that's my little beef with Costco. So but I've always been with somebody, like, to just accompany, like, them while they're shopping. I've never been on my own to, like, look at shit and buy stuff on my own. So, we got all of them down. We just got to get the last one. All right, y'all, let's jump right into the show. Oh my God, I think I just black girl smacked so hard. Did I? I'm gonna have to edit that. Did I do that? Y'all know when we be like, I felt like I did a really hard one on this. Anyway, so welcome to the show. Let's jump right in it. I want to talk to you guys about something, and I just love nostalgia so much. I think nostalgia is one of my favorite. Nostalgia is not emotion, it's a feeling. Nostalgia is one of my favorite feelings to feel, because it's just so sweet and it comes out of nowhere. It could come from a smell, a taste, a feeling, a temperature. It could come from anything. Like, Christmas has a smell to me. It tastes, ooh, pause. Christmas smells like pine needles and hot chocolate to me, and dirt, because that's just what Christmas in my childhood smelled like, pine needles and hot chocolate or coffee. The reason I'm talking about nostalgia is because my niece was over and I was trying to find her something to watch, right? And me and my niece have always had the same type of like taste when it comes to like TVs and movies. Even when I used to babysit her when she was a baby, we would be chilling on the couch and we would go through seasons of shows, right? And I'd be thinking she'd be like in my arms sleep. She'd be locked into the TV, whether we were watching Amazing World of Gumball, or we were watching like Californication, and I would just like cover her eyes on the nasty parts, you know what I mean? So she would really like be my roll dog. And so when she was over here, I was trying to find her something to watch, and I was asking her, I was like, you want to watch something from like when I was a kid? And she was like, gang. And I was like, bet. So there's like this little website. I saw it on TikTok and I forgot the name. Fuck. There's like this little website where you can watch TV from that, and it has like, it goes all the way down to like the 40s. I think it's like early 2000s, and then you can go down to like 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, and I think it stops at the 40s because I don't think they had much TV in the 20s. But it's like the picture from that time, the commercials from that time, like it's legit. It's my favorite shit ever, and I can't remember the name to the life of me because I just have it saved in like my bookmarks on my phone. But it's an amazing app. Or it's not an app. It's a website, y'all. Just look on TikTok and type in like website old shows, and I promise you it'll probably pop up. But anyway, so I'm on that shit and I'm showing her all these different shows about, you know, when I was a kid and which ones were my favorite and all this stuff, showing her the theme songs of all these shows, bro. And the reason I brought that up is because, bro, the theme song to Between the Lions is probably the best theme song I've ever heard in my life. And I hope y'all know what this show is. If you don't know what Between the Lions is, Between the Lions was a show about a library ran by like a family of lions and like chickens and orangutans, and there was like a computer mouse that was like a for real mouse. Y'all, it sounds like a fever dream, but I promise you it was fire. Like, it was top tier. But like the dad lion, he would like pick out books and read them to his kids, right? There was a boy and girl lion. He would pick out books and read them to his kids, and then the books he would read would turn into like mini shows inside the show. And there was one like Cliffhanger, and there was one called like Wayne's World. Like, if you remember the show, I'm like reeling in a really tight memory for you right now because it was so lit. The only thing about this show that used to have me so gassed was that they used to pronounce the fuck out of these words in this show, y'all. Every letter, every syllable was used like repeatedly and correctly throughout the entire show. It was invigorating. Like, if it was like fork, they would be like, Tommy had a fork. Like, they would really give it to y'all. Like, they was like you motherfuckers gonna learn how to read. And looking back, that show was probably why I am such a good reader and writer. And that's not even a flex. That's just facts. But the theme song, y'all, the theme song is on another level. Like, the theme song reminds me of, y'all know One-on-One? That theme song used to make me cry. I used to love to hear just the immediate first couple of words of the theme song for One-on-One used to have my ass in tears. Oh my God, I want to insert a clip right now. That is a fire ass theme song. But Between the Lions, if you have never heard that theme song, I need you to pause this episode right now. Go ahead, swipe over to YouTube and just play it. It's only like 30 seconds. Please. Well, don't do it if you're driving, bitch. The destination is more important. So if you're driving, don't do it. Don't do it. Wait until you get to work or home. But if you're not driving, mango, I'm just kidding. Listen to that theme song right now. I'll give you a couple seconds to pause and go over. Hold on. Did you listen? It was fire, right? Oh my God, it's so good. I love it. That's like the theme song of my childhood. If you didn't pause and you didn't go over, just wait until you get out the car or get off work, and then rewind. Go listen to it and then rewind this part that part where I said it's fire, right? Because it is, right? The crazy part is the testament to how good that theme song is, Between the Lions. Me and my niece didn't even watch the show, but she definitely listened to that theme song a good 3 or 4 times. Like, it's just so good. It's just so good. And then speaking of theme songs, like, what are y'all? I swear, this bird is like, am I one of your people? Like, I don't know the words to that song. I'm sorry, but you're like screaming it right in my face. Bless his heart. What are y'all's like top 5, or should I say top 3? Is top 5 too much? No, we had hella cartoons. If you were born in the 90s, we had hella cartoons. So I should probably say top 10, because there were just so many fucking good theme songs to our cartoons back in the day. Like Danny Phantom. What? All you gotta hear is the whisper, the Danny Phantom. That's all you need to hear. That shit was fire. True Jackson VP was another one of them. Which one? Oh my gosh. Brandy and Mr. Whiskers used to be a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. That was a really good theme song. I can't think of any anymore, but they were good. They were all really good. I'm gonna have to talk about that. I'm gonna have to think more about that and gather up my like top 5 or top 10 favorite theme songs. But I have to separate them from cartoon to like regular TV shows, because just like I said, 101, like I can't throw 101 in there with like SpongeBob. You know what I'm saying? Even though SpongeBob isn't one of my favorite theme songs, like I just have to separate the cartoon from the live action. Okay, y'all, so moving on, I want to talk to you guys about something. Look at me about to say it again. The victim all my life about something that happened to me. Girl, please. I want to talk to you about something. First of all, my mouth just be saying words. Like, I don't know what be happening, y'all. Like, I talk so normally outside of this podcast. As soon as I hit record, there's like accents and stuttering. And like, I don't know what be going on with my mouth. It's like, it's my biggest pause, cause that was crazy. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys about, why do I keep wanting to say what happened to me? Stop, Zaria. About something that happened to me when I was a teenager. Okay, so y'all know how I said I haven't had a lot of relationships with guys, right? Well, I haven't had a lot of relationships with guys. I've had more relationships with guys than I've had with women, right? I usually just have sex with women. And that's not my fault. I mean, it kind of is. But anyway. So before I had my first boyfriend, which was DB, I used to... Sorry, I'm having acid reflux, y'all. I almost died live on air. I almost just croaked the fuck away. And I didn't even make a sound. I was just quiet, like choking my life away. Anyway, y'all would have just been like, hello? Like this, it would have been an hour-long episode of me choking and dying. Wow. Anyway, so like I said, before I had my first boyfriend, I used to, be in a lot of talking stages with guys, right? Because I was just, I was trying to fill out my bisexuality. I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling men like that. I don't know if I want to be with one. They cute and stuff, and he smelled good, but I don't know if I would want to like dig all up in that, So I remember one of the first, like, I would say link ups I ever did. I was like 15, maybe 16, because me and DB started dating when I was 17. So yeah, I was like 15, 16. And it was this guy. Wait, okay, so let me tell y'all about me. So y'all know how I said back in Virginia Beach, I wasn't like, I just wasn't, I wasn't Keisha from up the block. I just wasn't a fine thing. Like, I just wasn't something to look at. And there was this guy in my school who was like so fine. I thought this man was beautiful. He was chocolate. Oh, he was big. Oh, and he wasn't even like on a sports team. He wasn't like on a basketball team or football team. I don't like niggas like that. Like, I don't like that. So he was like popular, but just for being big and black. Like, he played no sport, but everybody knew him because he looked like he did. You know what I'm talking about? He was just one of them niggas that, like, nigga, you need to be on the field somewhere. So he got along with all the niggas that were on the sports team. He just wasn't one of them. And I thought this man was delicious, because even though he hung out with all those people, he was so quiet, and and we had one class together. He always turned his work in. I sat right beside him. He always got A's on his work. I was like, this nigga is my bread and butter. Like, oh my God. I was obsessed with him, right? This man, I could have smacked the fly off the back of his neck. He would have never known I existed. Like, it was crazy. And that's how most people were with me in high school. I just never talked or anything. And it's because I was only at the school for 2 years. I went to one school for my freshman and sophomore year, and I went to a whole nother school for my junior and senior year. So I didn't know anybody. I was like, nigga, I just want to graduate. So anyway, back to the story. So one day, I'm like really dying. I don't know what's going on. So one day in class, I was sitting next to him, and my teacher was like, I want y'all to do a project real quick, but I don't feel like splitting the whole class up. So whoever's sitting beside you, nigga, that's your partner. And guess who I was sitting beside? Yes, his fine ass. Yo, this is low-key why I'm glad I don't have any friends from high school, because it would be so easy to tell what I'm talking about. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, Akira don't listen to this podcast. It will be fine. Okay, so listen. So I'm trying to be cool, right? And I dip my head to the side. I'm looking over at him like, so I guess it's me and you, huh? And he's like, oh, okay. He was like, I don't really know what we doing, but he was like, I mean, let's try. So I was like, all right. So we end up doing the project, right? He come out of nowhere, asked me, yo, didn't you used to date, I gotta use a fake name. Didn't you used to name, Philip? Didn't you used to date Philip? And I was like, huh? Nigga, what? Now, I need to explain to y'all that there were 2 Zarias in my school. Only 2. It was me and this other girl, right? This other Zaria was about her business, all right? She was fucking people's boyfriends. She was getting in fights. Oh my God. One time, this girl came up to me at lunch and she almost rocked my shit because she thought I was her. And even though I wasn't scared, I couldn't say nothing because I was like, how do you not know that I'm not the right Zaria? And then like her cousin ran up behind her and was like, no, you got the wrong one. That's the wrong one. And I'm over here eating my cold ass French fries and shit. Oh my God, y'all, that was the one time I ate my lunch in the cafeteria, because I usually ate it in the library. I sit down, eat my lunch. Some bitch about to beat my ass. I mean, I obviously wasn't going to let her beat my ass, but she got like all up in my face. Like she was going to give me a run for my money. And I was just sitting there looking at her, chewing my cold French fries. Like, how do I get myself out of this situation? Because I have never seen this lady before in my life. And she was big too. She was like, oh, so you was talking shit? You was talking shit about my cousin? And y'all know how girls do that little thing where they put their fists down like in front of them, like low? I was like, she about to rock my shit. I'm going to rock her back, but this first hit about to be, she going to get me good. So that was a caveat. So he asked me if I dated homeboy, and I was like, nah, I don't even know who that is. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, but there is another Zaria in this school, so I'm pretty sure you probably talk about her and not me. He was like, oh yeah, I think you're right. Now, it didn't make it better that this Zaria was also, and I'm not light skinned, all right? I'm not. Rest. When y'all see me on video, I don't want to hear nobody say that shit, okay? Let me be what I want to be. Let me identify as what I feel. So this other Zaria was like actually light skinned. Like she was like the skin complexion of a white person. She was black though. And we both wore her hair in afro. So it was real easy to get us mixed up, right? Even though I'm a dark skinned chocolate baddie. So we talking and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, are you gonna go to the homecoming game? Why are you asking this man that? Of course he is, Ari. Like, of course. He like, oh, yeah. I'm gonna slide through. He was like, you going? I was like, oh, no, I don't really go to stuff like that. I was just asking, just to make conversation. He was like, oh, why don't you go? I was like, because I don't have no friends, nigga. You don't even know who I am. You don't even know who you talking to. You think you talking to Zaria Chapman. And you're not. Like, that's crazy. Her name not Chapman, by the way. But I was just like, I'm just not gonna go because I'm a loser and I don't know nobody. And I just don't want to go. Like, I don't want to watch a football game because I just don't. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, you should come with me then. He was like, I'll make you some friends. I was like, nigga, I'll come with you anywhere. I was like, yes, please. That'll be perfect. So I get home. I'm like, y'all know, like in cartoons when like a boy get a kiss from a girl on the cheek and he like floats up. He's like floating away like, huh. That's how I floated away. Don't even remember if we finished the project or not. That was not my priority, which I'm pretty sure we did. But so I leave the class like floating like on hearts and shit. I get home. I tell my mom like, hey, I'm trying to go to the homecoming dance. My mom is like, with who? For what? And I'm like, with this nigga, and because I want to. I don't know what else to say. That was the honest truth. My mom was like, oh, okay, no. So, yeah. Dinner's almost done, though. I was like, wait, why? She was like, well, just, my parents used to be real, like, iffy about letting me go places. Like, I couldn't go to a pride parade until I was, like, 18, because my mom was not fucking with that. She was like, it's not that I don't, agree with what's happening down there, but, niggas is crazy. And we was in Virginia Beach. I think the first one that I almost snuck out and, like, rebelled and went to, somebody, like, a lot of people ended up getting shot. So I was like, oh, maybe I should, like, sit my minor ass down and listen to my mom. So anyway, she said no. I was frustrated. I went upstairs, started crying, throwing shit around. And then what's crazy, y'all? I hate when my mom is right. Because my mom came in my room and she was like, why are you upset? She was like, I've never known you to want to go to a basketball game, a football game, or nothing. Like, what is the problem? I was like, I really wanted to go with him because I like him. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, why are you trying to get me to embarrass myself in front of you? Like, what you want me to say, girl? I love him. Like, that's my man. My mom ate me up so bad. She was like, all right, text him right now and tell him that you can't make it. And I was like, all right, fine. Girl, boy never even gave me his number. I don't have his Instagram. I don't have his contact information. Hell, if I got his email. I have no way to get in contact with this man at all. And my mom's just standing there like, no, call him. Call him. Tell him you can't make it. Matter of fact, tell him you'll be late. See if he wait for you. I was like, girl, I get it. Like, damn, get out so I can cry. Like, what are you doing to me right now? So after the realization that he just was talking out the side of his ass, he probably didn't really even want me to come, set in. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just go downstairs and eat the meatloaf and broccoli, and I guess we'll call it a night. So the next day, oh, wait, no, it was the weekend, because that was a Friday. So the next week, we go to school. I got class with him. He talking. As soon as he sit down, hey. I'm like, hey. He was like, how was your weekend? It was great. I don't know what to say. I was giving really, what's her last name? I was giving Bella from Twilight for sure. I just didn't say much. And I was always scared to talk to everybody because I was like, I don't know what could happen at any point. But I could tell he was flirting a little bit. Like, maybe I'm being delusional, but like he just kept asking me little questions to get me to talk. And I was like, So one particular day, we had a really good talking day. Like, he was talking to me the whole class. The teacher divided the class up to work on a project. He worked with me, like, voluntarily. I was like, oh, my goodness. Like, okay, what's going on? He loved me. So that day ended. And I only had one class with him. So I never saw him at lunch. I saw him occasionally in the hallway, but never, like, no other class. No elective, no nothing like that. So one day, I missed the bus to go back home. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just walk. Like, I had a homegirl named Akira. I was like, Akira probably gonna stay back for ROTC, so we'll probably just walk back home together because she lived right around the corner from me. So I'm chilling up at the school trying to see what time ROTC get out. Or did she run track or was she in ROTC? Anyway, that's not important. I'm trying to see when the after school facilities get out so I can walk home with her. And I see him talking to like a group of people. So as one does, I'm obviously staring at him because I'm like, this nigga is delicious. I could put his whole body in my mouth and like swallow. Anyway, so I see him talking to a group of people. He obviously see me staring at him, and I see him start to walk over to me, and I immediately turn the other direction. I'm like, no. He's not coming over here. He's just probably gonna drink from the water fountain. That's it. Be cool. He coming. All right, bitch. All right. So he like, hey. I'm like, hey. I didn't know you were here. Oh my gosh. What you staying back for? You got detention or something? He's like, nah, I'm just hanging out with my homeboy. They got football practice and stuff like that. He was like, I'm actually about to go home. He was like, it's hot as fuck out here. I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to walk home too. I'm waiting on my homegirl. He was like, oh, he was like, I'll walk you home. He was like, where you stay at? I was like, nigga, what? I was like, who you about to walk home? Y'all, I was so excited. I was like, because even like, the fact that, like, people gonna see us walking together, like, you don't care about that? That's crazy, y'all. I was, like, a literal nobody. So I was just like, I don't know if you want to do that. But I'm not gonna stop you. Let's go. So I lived fairly close to the school. I lived on Bow Creek. I know y'all don't know where this is, but just for reference. And he lived in the area called Green Lakes, which I didn't know. But Green Lakes is, like, directly behind the street Bow Creek that I lived on. He was like, oh, yeah, he was like, we go in the same direction anyway. He was like, I was going to go up through Holland Oaks, but, hey, I could take the long way. I was like, yeah, yes, you can take the long way. Yes, you can. So we walking, we talking. For the first like 10 minutes of us walking, it's like quiet, right? Because I don't know what to do or what to say. I've never been in this situation before. And he was on his phone, so I was like, oh my God, he probably texting the group chat that he walking with this fat, ugly, hairy bitch. Oh my God, I was so nervous. So then he was like, hey, do you mind if we stop by my house real quick? I gotta pick up something for my mom. And I was like, oh yeah, that's fine, I don't mind. Girl, we get to his house. He was like, you can come in if you want to. One thing about me, I do not like walking in people's houses. First of all, I don't like walking into people's houses first. Like, if we going somewhere together and you have been there before and I'm not, don't fucking dare like ask me to walk in first. I hate that shit so much. Bitch, you go, because everybody in there know you already, and then I will accompany you after so that you can introduce me. What the fuck I look like walking into a place and everybody turn around look at me like, who this bitch? And then you come up behind me like, oh, hey Ralph, why you let this bitch walk in first? We was about to beat her ass. Like, I hate shit like that. So anyway, we get in there. No mom, no dad, no siblings. It's just him and us in this house. And he was like, I gotta pick up some money for my mom, so I can give it to. I don't know. I don't remember what he said, y'all. I know we was there to pick up some money. So I went in his house, expecting to be like, hi, ma'am, how are you? And nobody was in the fucking house, right? So I'm like, all right. He was like, you mind if we chill here for a second? He was like, it's hot as fuck outside. He was like, I need to change my clothes. He was like, I need to put something in my stomach. He was like, I'm hot as fuck. I was like, all right, that's cool. He was like, you can put your book bag down. He was like, you can chill in my room until I'm ready to go. I was like, all right, bet. That's cool. That's sound cool to me. So I go in his room, and I'm kind of just standing there. I throw my bag my book bag on the bed, and I'm kind of just standing there because I don't want to like get in his bed. I'm like, we only gonna be here for a few minutes. This nigga come back with a plate of like 1,000. What's some shit called? Not Hot Pockets. Oh my God, what are they called? The little squares. Oh my gosh. Pizza rolls. He come back with like a plate of 500 pizza rolls steaming. He threw them bitches in the microwave. They was hot as fuck. He didn't drizzle ranch over them. I was like, oh, he had like one of them fat ass cups of like lemonade. I was like, we finna be here for a while. Okay. So, y'all, oh my God. So this story is about to take such a downhill turn. So when I walked in his room, he had like clothes and stuff all over the floor, but there was like, and I'm not even gonna say nothing because we've all experienced like our 1,000 water bottle room experience. But there was hella water bottles. It was like Powerade, Gatorade. I was like, nigga, you're not even an athlete. Like, you should have picked these bottles up. But they were like chip bags and stuff. And I was like, you know what? He is a boy. So let's just like overlook all of that. It's fine. It didn't smell bad. So that would have been, I would have turned around and walked right back out if it smelled bad. Like, I can't handle shit like that. You already know I don't like bodily smells and fluids. So he hopped on his bed, he started eating, he turned on TV. He was like, you can get on my bed if you want. And I'm like, okay. No, I'm not stupid, y'all. I'm not stupid, okay? I peep what's happening, but it's unraveling very slowly. He not pushing at all. So I'm like, eventually I know what you're going to try to do. And right at the moment when you try to do it, I'm going to be like, all right, let's walk me home. So I'm noticing game, but like, I'm still like, like, okay. But y'all, listen. I go to sit on his bed, and like a normal person, there's like your blanket, your sheet that you put your legs under, and then you have your fitted sheet, right? That's how I make my damn bed. You get under the blanket and the sheet, and then you lay on your fitted sheet, right? Okay. If somebody make their bed different, let me know, because I might be the different one. But I go to I go to get under his blanket with my legs. And, like, I feel like a bulge on the side of the bed. And I'm like, what the fuck is, like, what am I doing wrong? So I go stand up. This nigga has, this nigga has a thick-ass rubber band. Multiple. He has a flat sheet. And on the ends, on the corners of the flat sheet, he had it tied up and tucked under his bed with a rubber band, y'all. I was like, what? And so I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, I don't know if I should like pull it out or what, because I'm trying to get under it and the blanket, but I don't know what to do. So obviously I asked him about it. Like, why is this like this? And I was expecting to get like a funny, like cool answer. And this nigga was flat out was like, oh, I don't know how to use the other one. So I just tied this one on there. And like, I know what y'all are thinking. Like, oh, that's not that bad, Zaria. At least he has 2 sets of the same, sheet set. And you actually couldn't be more wrong. He had the one singular sheet and a comforter that didn't match the sheet and didn't match the size of his bed. It was like a good 5 sizes too big for his bed. Like, I think it was a king blanket, and baby was sleeping on a full or something like that. It was noticeable. And you know what? Looking back, I'm glad it wasn't opposite. I'm glad the blanket wasn't too small for the bed, because that would have irritated the fuck out of me. And you know what, y'all? When I was that young, I didn't really have a red flag indicator or like an ick monitor. I was just like, my whole life is a red flag. So like, nobody could be worse than what I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it can be accepted at some point. You know, we all comes with trials and tribulations. I can handle everything. But even still though, y'all, I never did anything I didn't want to do. Like, I could never be peer pressure. But I was just like, ain't nothing wrong with giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. But then this is where it took the cake. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to walk home by myself. Actually, I think I'm going to get the fuck out of here. So after I like nervously laugh off the fact that you don't know how to use a fitted sheet, and you didn't even tie 2 flat sheets to your bed, you just have the one singular sheet and mattress, we're just going to laugh that away. But y'all, when I finally got under the blankets, it smelled like feet. And not even just regular feet, y'all. It smelled like creamy feet. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I don't even want to know the juices and berries that you had up in here to make this concoction of smells. I don't want to know. I slid right the fuck out, put my shoes on, and I was like, hey, my mom just texted me. She said some shit going down. I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna hit you later. He was like, oh, hold on, let me put my shit on so I can walk you. I was like, no, actually, she's gonna pick me up there right at the corner, so you don't even gotta move. I was like, you can walk me to the door, but she gonna be right there. She said she was picking me right there up at the 7-Eleven, so you good. I was like, thank you for inviting me over here. That was real sweet. He was like, oh yeah, no, he licking ranch off his fingers and shit. I was like, what is happening? Like, I have never been so unattracted to somebody so fast. I was just like, oh no. Now, is he still fine to this day? No, he's not. That makes me so happy. Y'all, nothing makes my heart happier than seeing a man or a woman I used to fiend over when I was a kid or like a teenager, and they're like, now, you know what I mean? They're just like, life really didn't do them that well. And to be honest with y'all, all the women that I've ever like, with or like dated, some of them are crackheads. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Either some of them are crackheads, strippers, which by any means, get your money, boo boo, get your money. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or they just got hella kids, which is crazy to me because like I have only ever dealt with about a straight lesbian. I think maybe 1 or 2 times I fucked with a girl that was bisexual as well. But most of the time when I'm with girls, it's a full lesbian. So how out of the 2 of us, I'm the bisexual one and you the one that got 3 kids, is beyond me. But that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah, y'all, that was my little talking experience. And then I've actually talked to a lot of guys before. There was a time where like I talked to this guy named Alex. I don't even care to give him an alias because that was, and Alex Alex had a girlfriend named McKelvey who was pregnant at the same time I was talking to him. Y'all, that's gonna have to be for another episode. Lord have mercy. It was just, I'm not even giving them 2 aliases because they were 2 very bad people. But okay, y'all, it's officially 5:00 in the morning and I'm tired. And actually I'm not tired, which is crazy because right when I started this episode, I was supposed to already be asleep, and I was like, I gotta get a new video out. Like I have to reclaim my time. I don't know. And now I'm wide awake, so I don't think I'm actually going to be able to go to sleep. So after I start recording this, I might just edit it and post it. But let me talk to y'all for a second. So, I really, really, really want to do this podcast full time. If this is your first episode you're ever clicking on, welcome. Please stay. If this is your 36th episode you've listened to, thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. But guys, I really want to do this podcast full time. Now, in my head, what the plan is, because I don't think I want to go back to being a flight attendant. I think I want to do the military and have the military pay for my podcast. With that being said, I can make the money to fund it, right? I can make the money to make the production easier, get a better camera, get some better microphones, get some lighting. I can handle the funds and the financial aspect of that, making the podcast better. What I don't have down packed is the support, right? I need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Just like every other person you watch on YouTube, just like every other content creator you watch. The likes help severely. The comments help severely. I love the DMs. I love the DMs you guys give me. They make me cry. They make me laugh. They make me think. I need you guys to take it out of the DMs and put it in the comments. Now, if you're sharing like a personal story or like a personal feeling or something like that, then obviously keep that in the DMs. But if you have a suggestion, if you have a funny comment or anything, leave it in the comments. Leave it in the likes and the subscribes. And if you listen on Spotify, leave a review. You don't even have to type anything. If you want to just give me 5 stars, 4 stars, please don't though. Please, let's keep it 5. I need you guys to show the love so we can be the #1 podcast by the year 2026. All right, 3 years. That's all I need. And if you're listening to this right now and I'm telling you this heartfelt ass story about how I need your support and you're like, that's so nice, and you just click off and go about your day, you're my #1 you're my #1 enemy, because I'm pouring out my heart right now. You're just like, sounds cute, and pause, go to the next episode. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys. Have a good day. Okay, guys, that's the end of the episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and your girl's on TikTok. Let's make this podcast the podcast. Okay, y'all? I want to hear you talk about it in the streets. 5 stars if you're feeling frisky, and 5 stars even if you're not. All the beautiful music in this episode is by the amazing Zoe Marie. Zoe's music can be found on all streaming platforms, so please go listen and love it just like I do. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.